Good evening. Good evening, and welcome to this session of the live virtual classes conducted by the Board of Studies of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. It's nice to see some of you here, and do put all your queries in the query pad. I know it's a little difficult, but do it because chat, I may not see it regularly. So if you put a question in the chat, it may not be answered immediately, whereas query pad is right in front of my eyes. So kindly do it. I mean, you might have a reasons for not doing it, it's your call. But kindly try your best to do it in the chat box. I'm sorry, in the query pad. So Mr. Tejaswin and Ms. Nancy are here. They've greeted. Let's see if anybody has greeted on chat so that I can read them also. Bhumika Agarwal, Hardik Marwa, of course, both here and there. And Mahi, a lot of you have put, So there is a query, explanatory statement to be, is it adoption or compulsory? Good question. Okay. So Mr. Lari wants to know whether explanatory statement to be annexed to the notice is that option. I don't know why this chat thing gets covered up. So is it an option or compulsory? That no explanation. Sir, as per the law, please listen to me, then only you will understand. As per the law, there is no need for giving explanatory statement for ordinary business, as per the law. So it is compulsory. It means it's not to do something cannot be compulsory. You need not give. That is not compulsory. You understand what I'm saying? Whereas to give an explanatory statement for special business is compulsory. The law, if you don't do it, the meeting is invalidated. The notice is invalid. The explanatory statement containing all the material facts, any relationship by the director, any connection with the director, any interest by the director should be clearly stated, and any other should. So if that is not done, special business, no. Ordinary business only. Now you will ask me a valid question. Why is it so? Why for ordinary business there is nothing? Shouldn't it be already obvious to you, sir? The four matters which are ordinary business are very clear. They do not need an explanatory statement, boss. Approval of accounts, appointment of directors in the place of those retiring, appointment of auditor, declaration of dividend. Four matters which are crystal clear. There is no need for an explanatory statement. Therefore, the law rightly says no need for explanatory statement for ordinary business. Good question, because such questions could come out of, need to know. We respect that. Humble request, kindly put your queries in the query pad, which has been specially provided for this particular purpose. Moving on to the topic for the day. We have made quite a lot of ground, but still there's a long way to go before we can rest. It's a long way to go. So let's go a little fast. I will go a little fast. And so we were here, right? Proxies. And so we finished proxies. Now we are moving to representation of president and governors. This is very, very simple. In government companies, who will be the shareholder? The central government or any state government or any combination of both. So who will be holding those shares? If the central government is a shareholder of a company, those shares will be held in the name of or the President of India. Similarly, wherever a state government is a member, then the shares will be held registered in the name of governor. He won't be the owner. See, if Mr. A is the governor of the state, he will not hold it as A. He is holding it as governor. Suppose B becomes governor, automatically B will be. So A cannot say, hey, the shares are mine. No. So in case, don't have that confusion. Similarly, for president, once the president is changed, the old president simply whatever she or he is wearing, they have to take and go, which is exactly what Abdul Kalam did. When Abdul Kalam, the great president, we will never see such a president again. When he left the president's quarters, he took nothing. He said, whatever I came with, I'm taking it back. Everything else, he kept it and went off. So these are all for the president of India. for Abdul Kalam. So he went away. But so it will be held in the name of the president. Obviously, the president or governor cannot attend the meetings. Am I correct? So they will appoint some senior IAS officers, etc., to attend as their representative. That's all. So that representative will attend. Imagine a government company in which 51% is held by central government, balance is held by 3 state governments. How many people will attend that meeting? 4 people. 1 representing the president and 3 representing the 3 respective governors. That's all. Okay. The AGM will be attended by 4 people. Meeting over. That's all. Because 4 shareholders, their representatives are there. Now, suppose the governor of Maharashtra is appointing Mr. A as his representative. A is possibly under secretary or some senior IAS administrative officer, or maybe an officer from the respective ministry will be appointed. See, suppose the company, the ministry under which it comes, though the central government is involved, it may be energy ministry, Ministry of Department of Energy. Then they will come. That representative will come. He will be appointed by the president and he will come. Okay. And such person will have the same. So this representative will have the same rights and powers as the president or the governor as a member, including the right to vote by proxy or on a postal ballot. So if that representative, instead of attending in person, can appoint a proxy to vote on his behalf. Okay. It's a very fairly simple point. Same thing. Suppose a body corporate, a company is a shareholder in another company, or an LLP is a shareholder in a company. Ankit Mishra, governor found guilty of what? Whatever. If, boss, please, Ankit, don't ask such questions. Yeah, they are wasting time. Yeah, don't ask such questions. Yeah. If simple, if governor is removed, another governor will come. The post of governor will never be vacant. You understand? If governor is found guilty of what? What if he is found guilty, removed from the office? The new governor will come. Till then, deputy governor will take over. It's not a big thing. And Ankit, don't ask such questions which have no relevance from the exam point of view. Okay. This question answer given by me will not help you to get more marks in the exam. This topic itself has no relevance from the exam perspective. Knowledge perspective only we are learning. Once in a while, they may ask you a 2-mark question. That's all. So for that, you should just know what this is. Now, I have nothing against you asking such questions. You are wasting your time. Your time is more valuable than mine. I have earned enough and enough. I don't have to now go and do anything. You all only have to do many things. Your time is more precious. Kindly do not waste it. Okay. So similarly, if your body corporate, like a company or an LLP, is a shareholder in a company, an artificial person cannot attend here. So it cannot come. You cannot say Reliance, I am in Reliance Industries would have come. Instead, what will happen? That company board of directors will authorize a person. Okay. The body corporate means what? The directors of the company, board of directors will meet, and at that meeting, they will authorize Mr. A to attend on behalf of them. A can be anybody. A can be a senior employee, one of the directors, anybody. Even unconnected person can be. So long as that person should be authorized at a meeting of the board. In case of a company. In the case of any other body corporate, at a meeting of its governing body. Okay. One second. I'll finish this and go back. Just give me a moment. Your question is a good question. I will answer it. If we can answer it here also. See, both 112 and 113 have similar provision. See, this representative who is appointed by the board of this company will be having the same rights as a member, as the company would exercise as a member, including the right to vote by proxy and on postal ballot. Now, so this representative can appoint a proxy. Now, Tejaswin Marwa wants to know 105 of proxy speaking will not apply. Why? Proxy cannot speak at any case. At any stage, proxy cannot speak. What is the job of a proxy? Only one job, to vote. I cannot attend in person, I appoint a proxy. I tell him how to vote, or I give him the option to vote as he wants. Either way, he can only do that and nothing else. Because of 112, 130, nowhere in 112 or 130, unless you have got some information which I don't have. Sometimes students are very intelligent. If you know some section which I have missed out, some provision and all, kindly educate me. Otherwise, the rule about proxy not speaking will apply for 112 and 113 also. Have you got it, Mr. Tejaswin? Here also you cannot speak. Because, see, the whole, what could happen is the matters all could be open and shut. Nobody wants to come and waste time talking. So each of them sends, who will be this proxy? You think it will be some stranger? No. It will be another subordinate of this fellow only. He will call, hey, you go. I can't go for that meeting, you go. So he will give the proxy and you will say, that fellow will be shivering and coming. His only job is to vote and go. That's all. He won't talk anything. So I don't see why. In this case, that should be, unless you have some idea, which you can express, I'm willing to listen. Okay. Okay. So as I told you, a member can attend in person or through proxy. Right. Now, there are 4 main methods of voting. Voting by show of hands, simplest, where a resolution is first proposed and seconded, then put to vote by the chairman. Then the chairman says, all those in favor. Immediately people raise the hand. Hands are counted. Then anybody to the contra or anybody against it. Then hands are raised, counted. Then you know the rule of special resolution, I'm sure, or else I will tell you in this class, I will tell you what is a special resolution, blah, blah. Okay. So whatever it is, based on the counting, we will say. This is voting by show of hands. At any general meeting, once again, we'll first do this and then, okay. See, in any meeting of a company, initially voting will be by show of hands. But at any stage, a poll may be demanded. What is a poll? A poll is where, instead of show of hands, a polling sheet, a paper, kagas, will be circulated. In that polling sheet, the proposal or resolution will be stated, and there will be space for voting for or against. The member's name and his registered folio number will be there. These polls, they will all take the polling sheets, then quietly the secret ballot. They will, of course, secret, no, because we know who voted how. So they will vote yes, no, and then fold it and put it in the polling box. Then scrutineers will be there. They'll open the box, count the poll. Now, be careful. On show of hands, I'm sorry. On show of hands, one member, one vote. One member, one vote. Whereas on poll, one share, one vote. We'll see this later, but please internalize it. Don't confuse. On a poll, one share, one vote. I explained it to you earlier in proxy. I showed you how a single proxy demanding a poll can change the meeting's outcome. A single proxy holding 60% of the shares can change the outcome of the meeting by demanding a poll. Because once a poll is demanded, no hands. Even if there are 10 people together holding 40%, they are only 40. This one single proxy controls 60. On a poll, what he has to do? He simply has to vote for or against, sign for and on behalf of the member. That's all. Voting over. So on a poll, which is why the law rightly says proxy need not speak. Without speaking, he can change the meeting. He can let everybody speak. And finally, he can veto and go. See, suppose they are going for a proposal to sell one unit. And for that, they need an ordinary resolution. For example, though they need a special resolution. Let us say, our special resolution, Baba, this fellow is having 80%. The remaining 20% is held by 10 people. One man is holding 80%. Now he is not able to come. He is in Kuwait. So he sends his proxy. Proxy comes 80%. Okay, even if all the 20 vote for selling the unit, 20 votes for, 80 votes against. Okay, 20 votes for, 80 votes against. Straight away defeated. 20 votes for, 60 votes against, defeated. Okay, 60 against. Okay, that is the number of votes cast in favor should be 3 times the number of votes cast against. Here, this is 3 times. Against is 3 times. 100% defeated. So all this proxy has to do is sit quietly, eat jalebi or badisha, look at the whole fun, and then finally say, Chairman, I demand a poll. That's all. Automatically poll will be taken. On a poll, this fellow will vote. When he votes, 60% will come. Whereas when they vote, only 40%. So he will simply against. That's all. Matter over. The undertaking, that factory cannot be sold. He can veto the decision. He'll go out, call his boss and say, Mr. Sir, I have voted. Matter over. Thank you. I'm catching the next flight to Kuwait. That's all. So that's it. So this is what I call the dynamics of corporate democracy. The dynamics of corporate democracy. Okay, this is where company law is so important you have to understand. Suppose tomorrow you're joining a multinational firm and working so hard, blood, sweat, and tears, and become partner. Now, this is the law which you have to be thorough in. Because in many cases, you'll be in the audit committee as a statutory auditor. You'll be assisting your partner. Sometimes if you're a senior manager or associate or a director, he will ask you, hey, what is this man like that? You should be able to advise him on what is what. Though there would be a company secretary there, all sorts of legal advisors and all, still, as an auditor, you will be asked. Or you might be the CFO of that company. So the MD would, though he has the company secretary to advise, he would still rely on you as a chartered accountant to give him comfort. So finally, he will ask, what is this, boss? What is this? So you should be thorough on this. Okay, this is the dynamics of corporate democracy, right? So on a dynamics of corporate democracy. See, normal democracy in, as you know, it is one man, one vote. One man, one vote is the normal democracy, communism, etc. Even socialistic democracy like us. One man, one person, one vote. It is not that a rich person will get 15 votes and the poor man will get 0 or 1 vote. Each individual is valuable. So one man, one vote. This is good. This is constitutional democracy. Constitutional democracy. Whereas if you bring constitutional democracy into companies, it may not work. Kyun? Because, boss, I have invested 600 crores. You have invested 400 crores. Now, who has a bigger stake in this business? Who will lose more? I. Therefore, I should have more vote. That is corporate democracy. Are you able to understand? One share, one vote is corporate democracy. One man, one vote is constitutional democracy. That is why they are saying, boss, if you are all happy, no fighting, then, and it's a routine matter, why waste time polling, gilling? You raise your hands. So voting by show of hands. There are one member, one vote. But if there is a problem, there is a fighting, then even if the requisite number of members demand a poll, if a demand is made, then chairman shall take a poll. And on a poll, one share, one vote. This is what I call why I say dynamics, because static means not action, no action, standing, doing nothing. Dynamics means in action. In action. So what I mean is, when you see a voting on poll, that is corporate democracy in action. That is what, unfortunately, I meant when I said dynamics of corporate. It is not one man, many votes. Please don't confuse that way. One share, one vote. See how easily you are confused, no? How easily you are confused. One man, one vote, no. One man, as many votes as he has shares. Like that you should understand. You understand, Mr. Anirudh Parashar? You are bearing the name of the father of Vyasa. Veda Vyasa's father, Parashar. Okay, so such a man should know clearly what he's thinking. It is not one man, many votes. It is one man with as many votes as he is holding shares. So basically, it is one share, one vote. So if you hold 100 shares, 100 votes. If I hold one share, one vote. Okay, got it? So this is what. See, not only in law, in every subject, have logic clarity. it's easy to go. Words are very important. If you think words are not important, grammar is not important, not only in English, hello, even in other Indian languages, whether you are whatever language you are using, the words are very important. How you tell something has very powerful impact. So use of language, irrespective of what language that is. So it could be English, could be any other Indian language. You have to know how to use words and make meaning out of it. It is a skill. Okay, merely changing the language or a preferred language which is better known than English may not change your ability to use any language. Use of language is a skill by itself. You have to develop that skill. Okay, clear speaking, clarity of speech, clarity of thinking. These are skills by themselves that need to be developed. No, see, madam, resolutions are of two types. Ordinary resolution, special resolution. Resolutions are of two types. Ordinary resolution, special. How is a resolution passed? By voting. Are you able to understand the link? By voting. How? Whether ordinary or special? For ordinary, I need more votes in favor than against. For special, I need 3 times the number of votes cast. So either way, how do I know how many votes for, how many votes against? That is called voting. That is what we are talking now. It is this part of the subject has nothing to do with special or ordinary. Yeah, ordinary resolution also you can have a poll. Special resolution also you can have a poll. In case of differential, Sania goes to a very nice point. Madam, I'll tell you what. Just wait for some time. I will cover this topic and then at your point I will take up your question again. Okay. Differential voting rate, it's obviously mathematics and tell you how to do it. In case of differential voting rates in poll, voting person has 1 share equal to that many votes, he is entitled to one differential. Absolutely correct. Suppose a company has issued differential voting rights. A company has issued differential voting rights. See, Tata, I think Tata Group or somebody issued this was a future retail now. They issued 1 dividend at a higher percentage and 1/5 vote, 20. That is, each share had only 1/5 voting rate. 1/5 voting rate. That is, if I hold 1 share, it will be equal to 1/5 vote. 1/5 vote. 1 share equal to 1/5 vote. Instead, I would say like this. If I had 5 shares, it will be 1 vote. It's easy there, na? Simple. 1 share equal to 1/5 vote. Instead, I'm saying if I have 5 votes, it is equal to 1. If I had 5 votes, it will be equal to 5 shares, it will be equal to 1 vote. So if you are holding DVS in that company, then if you are holding 50 shares, differential voting rights, then you have only 10 votes. If another gentleman or lady is holding full voting right shares, not differential voting, full voting, 50 shares, he or she will have 50 votes, whereas you will have only 10 votes. Why? Because you have purchased differential voting rights knowingly, on which you receiving 5% more dividend, but your share will carry only 1/5 voting rate. 1 share, 1/5 voting rate. Instead, I'm humbly suggesting to you, instead of remembering it that way, it is easy to remember 5 shares, 1 vote. Okay. So either way, if you're holding 50 shares, divide by 5, 10 votes. Okay, whatever, yeah. Okay. So so your vote will be less. If this is what you mean, you are absolutely correct. Okay, though your English is a little confusing for me, still I think this is what you mean and you are not wrong. Okay, good. So voting through electronic means. Friends, voting by show of hands can happen only in a physical meeting. Whereas voting on poll is nothing but scratching a tick or an X on a piece of paper. Now, with digitalization, paper is going away. Whatever you did on paper, now you can do on a computer screen. So, by naturally, the voting by show of electronic means. In the meantime, earlier, before the 1999 amendment, section 1, I forget it. I forget the section, but let's go there. Before the amendment, in the old law, this is not some new law discovery. Postal ballot was there long, long ago. I do not know how long ago. 99, 2000 itself, they introduced postal ballot because they found people could not come to vote. As I told you, you are holding it on a business day. Nobody is coming. Then promoters are cheating the shareholders by rigging the meetings by holding them on busy time. Then only a few 10 employee shareholders will come, they'll pass the resolution, promoters will come, finish and go. So that the small shareholders and the others could not. So they said, as part of investor friendly activity, let us allow them to vote on postal ballot. So for that, rules are designed. We'll be seeing what that is. So basically, voting through electronic means and voting through postal ballot are only extension of voting on poll. Instead of coming to the meeting and using the polling sheet and voting, sitting at home, you can vote by post. Then what happened after postal ballot? Digitalization came. So now today postal ballot itself is outdated. Who goes for postal ballot? Why post? Instead, they go for electronic means. They send you a mail with a link. You go to the website. The polling sheet will be displayed on the screen. Then you will be allowed to read the resolution, explanatory. Everything will be there. Then you decide whether for or against. You vote. Just click. Complete all the resolutions. Then they will ask you submit. Then they will not allow you to submit. They will then again show you your decision, ask you to confirm once more. Are you okay? We'll go ahead. Because once you press that submit, no changing. They also warn you, no more changing. Then you will get irritated. Oh man, you press it. Then that's it. Your vote is cast. On that number, unique DPID, again voting cannot be done. Okay. So this is the thing. Now, these are just only broad introduction. Now I will go into it each one by one. Okay. At any general meeting, a resolution put to the vote of the meeting shall, unless a poll is demanded under section 109. Suppose a poll is demanded, then whatever decision taken by show of hands not valid. Poll will have to be taken. Okay, a poll can be demanded at any time. Unless if a poll is not demanded, no problem. Then, or the voting is carried out electronically. Okay, so in these two cases, no show of hands. Otherwise, a resolution will always be put to vote and it will be decided by show of hands. So basically, to begin with, it is show of hands. It's easy. Suppose a company has only 5 shareholders, all are known to each other. Matters are all clear and well-decided matters. Now, in those cases, there is absolutely no problem, no need for polling, bowling, and all. So they will simply show of hands and finish it. Okay, this is show of hands can work only with small family-owned businesses, closely held companies where everybody knows each other. There is no dispute. Only then show of hands will work. If it's a large company, many shareholders, listed company, or dispute is there, then you cannot have show of hands. Only a poll will work. Because even if the chairman tries to go for show of hands, the members who are affected, they will demand a poll. So once the voting by show of hands is done, but in most clubs and social organizations, including Masonic lodges like mine, we have only show of hands. No polling. Polling is in rare cases. In the case of election of office bearers, etc., only then we go for polling, where the name of the candidate is written and ballots are prepared. When the name is written, then all the ballots are collected. Then 2 scrutineers are appointed, and the names of the candidates are read out, and score is kept. Who is getting how many votes? Finally, the winner is declared. Then and there, and the ballots are preserved for future till the person is appointed. Okay. So the point I'm making is, society is not still at show of hands. Only it's easy for us to go by show of hands. But company initially show of hands. If poll is demanded, straight away. Now, once the show of hands is over, the chairman will declare the result. He will count the hands and he will say 5 votes for, 2 votes against. Ordinary resolution passed. Number of votes cast in favor is more than the number of votes cast against. Passed. Now, a declaration given by the chairman is final. Okay. So the declaration by the chairman of the meeting of the passing of resolution or otherwise by show of hands and entry in the minutes book shall be conclusive evidence of the fact. See, tomorrow, after the minutes are approved, if the minutes are prepared and sent to all the members, then you cannot come and say, No. It was all not like that. Ram and Krishna were not voting for. They didn't raise the hand. See, it was declared by the chairman and minuted. It is conclusive evidence. Again, it cannot be questioned. We'll later on be seeing that minutes are evidence in a court of law. In a court of law, whether there's a doubt whether it is like that, then they will rely on the minutes records. Okay. So demand for poll. Now, when can a poll demand be made? Before or on the declaration of the result. Before, see, the chairman of the meeting, the meeting is called. Imagine my example. That is the best way to remember. There is one proxy holding shares 60% on paid up capital, 60% is holding. Remaining 5 or 6 fellows are holding 40%. Now meeting is started. Those 5 fellows together, they vote by show of hands and elect a chairman. That result can be questioned. It's okay, this fellow lets it go. Then the chairman who is so elected says, item number 1, sale of undertaking at whatever, Sanan. Gentlemen, we have already discussed this matter. We have sent you the explanation. So we'll take up anybody proposing. So immediately one down will stand up, yes, I propose. Another person stand up, I second. Then the vote will be the resolution is put to vote. Even at that stage, before the vote is taken also, the proxy can simply stand up and say, Mr. Chairman, I demand a poll. Any time from the beginning of the meeting, once the chairman takes up this matter, from that point in time, any time, this fellow can ask for a poll. If the results are declared by the chairman, obviously, there are how many fellows here? 5 fellows holding 40%. One fellow proxy, he cannot vote on show of hands. Remember, proxy cannot vote on show of hands. So simply he has to wait. So instead of waiting, he can immediately call. He can say that chairman, or else he can do some tamasha, watch these fellows raising the hand and all. Then they will say 5 votes for, no votes against. Hello, chairman, come here. Sorry, I want a poll. That's all. So poll can be demanded before or on the declaration. Or else he can say, okay, go ahead. Then he will declare and say, resolution. No, sorry, come. We love poll. Chairman cannot question it. Chairman cannot question it. The chairman may, on his own motion, order a poll. If at all the chairman feels voting by, suppose there are 75 members sitting in a large hall. Even the chairman may feel, hey, I can't count so many hands here. By the time I count, you'll drop your hand. Then you'll raise 2 hands. It's not going to happen. So he, on his own motion, he can say, Mr. Company Secretary, have you come prepared with the ballots? Yes. Go ahead with the poll. Then they would have prepared a scrutiny because they know 75 fellows will come. So they will prepare a scrutiny also and keep him ready. Go ahead with the poll. Or else you can adjourn the meeting for taking a poll. No problem. Okay. And shall do so on a demand made in that behalf by the requisite number of members. See, may means option. This is one motion, whenever he wants. I think you all know a Latin term for on his own motion. We have already seen it. Am I correct? So motu, on his own motion. The chairman may, on his own motion. Instead of writing on his own motion, instead of writing, since many of you don't like English, you can use Latin instead. And you can say, the chairman may, suo motu, order a poll to be taken and shall do so on a demand made in that behalf by the requisite number of members. Earlier, when we saw extraordinary general meeting by requisition, we saw the requisite number of members. Now, again, we are going to see requisite number of members. Okay? Now, smart student, intelligent student, they will prepare a chart. They will have a notebook where they will track. Hey, what is that for 100 for EGM? So when they're studying, they'll compare and contrast. That way, their memory will improve and they will not forget how to remember. This is how we used to remember. So similar sections, we will put it in column. Are you able to understand? So usually, there will be company having a share capital, other companies. Am I correct? Same thing for 100 also. I am not going to go back and waste your time. You go and check up on your own. There will be one provision for companies having a share capital, one for other companies. So you write one column in Excel, only company having share capital, or in the notebook, you put one column type of company. Then 100, that is EGM by requisition. Then 109, Paul. Got it? And then you read it and then write with your own words. Then go and refer to the section or to the institute material or my notes and see what is the correct thing. See whether you have written it. That's it. How you will forget it, you tell me. So, company having a share capital. The members present in person or by proxy were allowed. And see here, for a poll, a proxy can demand a poll. So, proxy can also be counted. Member in person or by proxy were allowed. See, remember, this count will be only for those who are there at the meeting. Hello, you sitting at home, you cannot demand a poll. No, 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 no. You have to come to the meeting either in person or send your proxy. At that meeting only you can demand a poll. When you will demand a poll? Only when there is a matter to be put to vote. At that time you have to demand. You cannot sit at home and casually, send a letter saying, if at all you're going to have a meeting, I want a poll. Like that you cannot do. Okay, you have to come there, attend. So the members present in person or by proxy, you have to count the total voting power of that not less than 1/10, not less than 1/10 should be have held by, or they should have not less than. Or another option, holding shares on which an aggregate sum, total sum of not less than 5 lakh rupees or such higher amount as may be prescribed has been paid up. So together, if you count the shares, the face value total, okay, paid up value total should be minimum 5 lakhs. Why have they given like this? Because suppose it's a small company, right? Having a share capital of, let us say, 5 lakhs. Then 1/10 of the total. So 5 lakhs means, first let us understand. On a poll, 1 share, 1 vote. Company has 5 lakh shares. What is the total voting power? The total number of votes which can be cast on a resolution on a poll. Shall I repeat? This is a definition taught to you in preliminary. I'm only repeating it for your memory's sake. Total voting power means the total number of votes which can be cast, whether for or against, on a resolution, on a poll. So on a poll, 1 share, 1 vote. Therefore, if a company has 5 lakh shares, then the TVP is, total voting power is 5 lakhs. Because on a poll, 1 share, 1 vote. So now if a company has 5 lakh rupees paid up capital, then 1/10 is 50,000 rupees. Am I correct? Okay, so that's not a big thing they can be having. But suppose the company has a paid up capital of 50 crores. 50 crores. Then 1/10, 5 crores. Am I correct? 5 crores. 1/10. So it becomes 5 crores you have to hold. So they say no. Even if they hold 5 lakh rupees, it is okay. So in this case, what they will do, instead of showing 1/10, this 5 crores, it is enough they show that together they hold 5 lakh rupees. So suppose these guys who are demanding a poll, together they are holding 7.5 lakh worth of shares. No problem. They can ask. So 2 options are given, where either 1/10, not less than 1/10 of the total voting power, or holding 5 lakhs paid up capital. They have not said whichever is less. It goes without saying. Even if they have not said whichever is less, it is assumed that the lower number has to be taken. Because you are given 2 options, you can take the lower option only, right? So this is simple. Similarly, for companies not having a share capital, remember, for companies not having a share capital also, there can be a poll. That's why they are not putting companies not having a share capital. They're putting other companies. They can also have a poll. But what will be the benefit of the poll, God only knows. But they can have. For example, I am a member of the Presidency Club. The Presidency Club is a Section 25 company. which is also a section 8 company. Now the Presidency Club has every year an AGM where votes are taken. We go by electronic voting, basically polling. So there, one member, one vote. So we don't have to go to the club to vote. Sitting at home, I can do electronic voting, right? On an electronic voting, one person, one vote only. But still, we can go for a poll. Use a polling sheet, scrutinize them. More for convenience than for anything else. Okay. Electronic voting, postal ballot, everything is nothing but, I think some of you are not listening when I am explaining. I already told you that electronic voting and postal ballot are both extension of voting by poll, voting on poll. It's nothing but voting on poll in those days was on paper, kagas mein. Now, electronic means it's same voting, polling concept comes. Now, the minute polling, if you hear the word polling, then one share, one vote. So, show of hands, one member, one vote. Tejaswin Marwa, can I give better explanation than this? I will give. Have you understood? What if some person is present through video conference? No, we will come to that a little later. Wait, don't hurry up. Ms. Sanya, you are highly knowledgeable and intelligent in meetings of companies and voting, etc. So kindly give this poor idiot a little chance to teach the subject. Then I will take your questions. I will answer, don't worry. So you are going for video conferencing. Madam, as of now in India, there is no voting through video conferencing. You can attend a meeting through video conferencing. You can observe the meeting. But voting is only by electronic means or postal ballot, or you attend a physical meeting and use a polling sheet. Only 3 things are there. Video conference is a recent concept where a person can attend the meeting virtually. That's all. No voting is possible through video conference. Okay. 1, 2. If a person is attending a video conference, will he be counted as in person? Yes. Okay, yes. But in those cases, believe me, this video conference thing, they are very, very careful. Okay, they are not willing to extend it so fast. As of now, you can only attend and watch. Voting by show of hands and all, you cannot do in video conference. Video conferencing is an extension for a listed company. It is an extension of your meeting where electronic voting will be there. Only electronic voting will be there. Even you attend the virtual meeting, but before the time for closing the e-voting, if you have not voted, means you cannot vote again. No more voting. Only you have to, there will be a last minute for e-voting. That time will close, then you cannot vote. No voting by video, show of hands and all in video conferencing. Imagine, even in physical meeting, I'm unable to count hand. How I will count in unless you know, that's all. For that only we have e-voting now. So for that only we have e-voting. So, I mean, if you want to confuse yourself, do it, but don't do it to me. The virtual meeting is there only for members to attend from their houses and listen to the chairman or even raise queries. See, on a virtual meeting, you can raise a query. See, some of my clients, they have had virtual meeting. Once I was in Bangalore, when my client had an AGM, 3 directors were, 1 director was sitting in 2 directors were sitting in the factory, 1 director was sitting in his house in Chennai, and I was in Bangalore, and many shareholders had come from different places. So it was a meeting, virtual AGM, but voting by electronic means. So all the votes are cast. Then the chairman announces that time for electronic voting over. Then he takes up. Before the votes are taken, then he takes up. And then he says, if you have any queries, they guess. Then adoption or not, that's it. Matter goes on and finishes. Okay. So that is how it is. But believe me, still virtual video conferencing is still dicey. Still dicey. It has not been tested in courts of law. It is still being used only by companies that are comfortable with it. Otherwise, what they do is they have electronic voting and a physical meeting, coupled with a physical meeting. At the physical meeting also, they have booths where you can go and do e-voting before you attend. In the meeting, you can raise queries and all that. Then at the appointed time, the voting will be done, the counting will be done, the result will be announced by the chairman as part of the meeting. That's all. No more voting by show of hands and all at that meeting. Same thing with virtual meeting also. So this is how it is. Good. The questions are good, but be careful. See, one thing, subject is fairly simple. Don't confuse yourself unnecessarily. When should a poll be taken? See, when can a poll be demanded? We saw. Now, when should a poll be taken? A poll for demand for adjournment of meeting or an appointment of chairman shall be taken forthwith. Forthwith means immediately or as, okay, immediately means immediately. So this you can say ASAP. But you cannot adjourn it. Okay, please understand me. Forthwith. See, maybe you can take about 10 minutes, 20 minutes to organize yourself, but you have to take it immediately. Or rather, ASAP. What are the two matters? One is poll demanded for adjournment of the meeting. Well, think about it. Suppose there are 5 members. They don't want adjournment. There are 2 members, rascals who are doing all the fraud. They want adjournment. Now, the chairman is one of them. Now, one of the members, that other rascal, he says, let's have an adjournment. Immediately they propose and second it and they want to put it to vote. Now, a poll is demanded by the other guys who don't want adjournment. They demand a poll. They say, look here, you 2 guys, no, let's have a poll. On a poll, let us see whether there should be an adjournment or whether we should continue. No, immediately the chairman says, yes, we'll have a poll. For that, we will adjourn. No, a poll demanded for adjournment because after all, that is what these 2 guys want. They want an adjournment. Now, for taking a poll, if you adjourn the meeting, it amounts to doing what you want. So they say no. When a poll is demanded for adjournment of the meeting, it should be taken forthwith, immediately. Similarly, a chairman is appointed. On the declaration of result of the chairman's election, a poll is demanded about election of chairman. They say, let's have a poll. Now, that chairman who is elected on show of hands has to continue and take the poll. Because till then nobody is there, so he will continue. On a poll, whoever is elected will continue as the chairman. Either he can be re-elected or somebody else can be elected. That chairman will continue for the remaining part of the meeting. Now, suppose a poll is demanded on election of chairman. Now, the chairman, if he says, no, we'll adjourn it like that, then that means usurping the power. See, after all, the question is whether you should continue as chairman or not. That decision should be taken immediately. If you adjourn it, that means what? For that period, you will continue to be chairman. No, that is not the intention. So, see, these are the nice aspects of law that you need to understand. Why, when a poll is demanded for adjournment or appointment of chairman, it cannot be adjourned. It has to be taken immediately. Any other question other than these 2, any other question, you can adjourn it for up to 48 hours. Because, see, you have to make polling sheets, you have to appoint scrutineer, etc. But for these 2 matters, you have to improvise. Maybe cut some papers and distribute it and ask them to vote. And you have to ensure that everything is fair. That's all. There is a chairman's job. But on any question other than these 2 matters, you can adjourn it. A demand for poll, the poll can be taken not later than 48 hours from the time when the demand was made. Okay, right? Or as the chairman made of the meeting will die. Now, the demand for a poll may be withdrawn at any time by the persons who made the demand. Anytime they can withdraw it. See, sometimes a poll may be demanded out of rush. Then they may say, chalo yaar, let's go on. So they can withdraw it. The power to withdraw is given. We've been speaking about this person, chairman. When we use the word chairman, please, this word is gender neutral. If you still want to be very puristic and diverse, and you want to respect the rules of diversity and gender neutral, then you would prefer to use the word chairperson. Though such a word is not used in the section, you can use it. For example, for tribunal, etc., for competition commission, we say chairperson. We don't say chairman. But here they still use the word chairman. But remember, words indicating the masculine gender include the feminine gender. So chairman includes chairperson also. We normally don't say chairwoman, we say chairperson, which is a neutral gender, which includes both man and woman. So chairman of the meeting is the person who manages and controls the meeting. He or she has complete authority, including matters of decorum, including he can have bouncers to throw people out who are creating problem. Okay, chairman has absolute control of the meeting. Please understand. So it's a position of power. Okay, which is why in many meetings the chairman will be given a gavel. The gavel is a symbol of power. The gavel nowadays no, but in those days, chairman of boards had gavel in their hand. Gavel is like a hammer, like a judge has, similar to that. And it can be used to make a noise, bang on the table to create a sound, to bring silence. Okay. So gavel is a symbol of power. Chairman has the power, he complete authority. Also, the minutes of the meeting have to be recorded. Of course, recording the minutes will be done by our company secretary or by somebody else. But there is a chairman who has to ensure that the minutes have been correctly recorded. So then only he will sign, which is why you will find later on minutes of the meeting have to be signed by the chairman of that meeting or not present by two directors authorized by them. So very important. Chairman has prima facie. Prima facie means the face of it, on the face of it, or to begin with. Straight away on the face, he has the authority to decide all questions which arise at a meeting and which require decision at the time. Because if he needs any legal counsel and if he feels that there could be some legal issues, he can request the legal advisor of the company to come. Usually the auditor will be asked to come. Sometimes I have gone like that and I have given my view, but I will not address the meeting. I will only advise the chairman. I will tell him, sir, this point of order, this is what we have to do. This cannot be done. What the member is proposing may not be correct. Now do you understand? The questions you are asked in the examination, they are similar. Suppose a client is asking you a question, how will you answer? Similar question is asked in the examiners. They are asking, he's saying special resolution is not passed. Is he correct, sir? Then you have to say, no, sir, what he's saying is wrong. Because definition of special resolution, he has misunderstood. This is the definition of special resolution. Based on that, the resolution has been validly passed like that. Okay. So, chairman has prima facie authority. In order to perform this, he must be strictly impartial. See, impartiality should not only be there, but also be seen to be there. Initially, election of chairman is by show of hands. The members personally present shall elect one amongst themselves to be the chairman. Proxy cannot be a chairman. The first instance. Okay. Now you will ask a very, very convoluted question, and you should ask. What you should ask is, so if the meeting is adjourned for want of quorum, you said members present will form a valid quorum. Then even a proxy can be valid. Two proxies can come. Can that time proxy can be chairman? Yes, he can. There he can. Because their proxy is allowed to vote. There it will be a different case. But in normal meetings, okay, proxy cannot be a chairman. Okay, only members personally present elect one. Now, if a poll is demanded on the election of chairman, it shall be taken forthwith. We saw that. Chairman elected on show of hands shall continue to be chairman until some person is elected as chairman, and then he will be the chairman for the rest of it. I already mentioned this. Chairman has something called a casting vote. Friends, the chairman has one vote. The chairman has one vote. He exercises it. Thereafter, after the chairman has exercised, see, let us say that there are 5 votes. There are five people. Okay, 5 people. Here, for simplicity, for the sake of easy understanding, I am giving example of voting by show of hands. For easy understanding, I am giving examples based on show of hands. If you go to poll, it will be even more complicated. But the principle, the underlying principle is the same. So kindly understand. So there are 5 members attending. One of them becomes the chairman. Now the matter comes up. The chairman puts the matter to vote, show of hands. 2 people for. 2 people for. No, 2 people against. Chairman and 1 member for. Chairman and 1 member for. 2 people against. 1 man neutral. 5 are attending. This is chairman. Now, 2 people against. Chairman and 1 member for. This fellow neutral. Now, how many votes for? 2. How many votes against? Don't count neutral as against. Neutral is neutral. Not to be counted, that's all. So 2 for, 2 against. Chairman has already voted. 2 for, 2 against. Now, tie. This is called a tie. When there is a tie, what is a tie? Not what you wear on the neck. No. Tie means when there is a equal number of votes. Okay. Only when there is a tie. So here there are 2 votes for, 2 votes against. 2 votes for, 2 votes against. Now chairman has a casting vote. It is an additional vote available to the chairman, which he will use only when there is a tie. That is when the number of votes cast in favor is equal to the number of votes cast. In such a case, the chairman may use his casting vote to ensure that the resolution. So what happens? Now the chairman will vote in favor of the resolution so that the resolution will be passed. Please note, suppose it's the other way around. In this example, the chairman is against, 2 are against, 2 are for, 1 neutral. No problem. Why should the chairman exercise his casting vote? Because if the number of votes cast in favor is equal to the number of votes cast against, the resolution is defeated. Please understand. If the number of votes cast in favor is equal to the number of votes cast against, the resolution is not passed. If the chairman doesn't want it to be passed, if the chairman is against, why will you give passing vote? Yeah, you simply say, okay, go. Then 2 for, 2 against, sorry, number of votes cast in favor equal to, whereas it should be more now. The number of votes cast in favor should exceed the number of votes cast against. It's equal. Therefore, ordinary resolution not passed. Proposal dismissed. Chairman wants that. Why should he use it? Okay. If the chairman does not use his casting vote, or if there is no provision in the articles for a casting vote, an ordinary resolution on which there is a tie is deemed to be dropped. That's all. Matter over. If there is a tie, matter is dropped. Maybe you can take it up again. But as of now, that's gone. Yes. Meeting, as I told you, is a very interesting topic. The date of meeting and date of voting can be different. No. I think you're getting confused somewhere. You're all. See, date of meeting only, the vote will be casting. Madam, let us have clarity on this. What type of meeting are we talking? Physical meeting. Physical meeting, date of meeting and date of voting should be the same. Date of meeting and date of voting should be the same. Okay? Now, physical meeting. Pallavija, I'm answering your question. Physical meeting, all of them come here. The meeting, poll is taken. Maximum we can adjourn the meeting. That adjourned meeting, poll is taken. So the date of adjourned meeting is the date of voting. Got it? That's all. Date of meeting cannot be different from date of voting. Where you are having this problem, possibly electronic voting. Now, electronic voting will be done over a certain period of time. During that time, voting is happening, but the votes will be counted and announced only at a meeting. So all those votes are deemed to be cast on that date of that meeting only. Merely because they were cast earlier doesn't mean that date of voting is different from date of meeting. There will be a electronic virtual meeting or a physical meeting when the e-voting votes will be counted. And people will vote physically also, meaning they will vote at the venue in the booths. No physical voting in the booths. So all the votes will be counted and then the meeting will start. Then the time will be closed. No more voting. All of them will come and assemble. Then question and answer session. Then finally the votes will be counted. The machine will count. Scrutineer will announce it. That's it. So that meeting is the date on which the voting happens. So it is not possible for a meeting. In the case of postal ballot, my dear friend, no meeting at all. In postal ballot, no meeting. Straight away, all the postal ballots are collected on an appointed date. No more postal ballot. Then the next day they will count. The postal ballot announced result will be announced. So no meeting at all for postal ballot. Okay. So I have analyzed your question and given you an answer. But don't have any confusion. Date of voting cannot be different from date of meeting. Even if the voting happens over a period, finally there is a meeting. At that meeting only it will all be announced. So this is connected to that meeting. Okay. So don't, humble request, and don't get confused. No need for confusion. Where a poll is to be taken, the chairman shall appoint persons as scrutineers. And see, I'm not going to give you one suggestion. If you go through the Institute Board of Studies material, you'll find there's a lot of content on this. Much of it is procedural. Thank you, Ms. Pallavija. So that is why I analyzed an answer so that you should have no doubt about it. 3 types of voting: polling at a meeting, polling through electronic voting, polling through postal ballot. In all cases, I have told you. Okay. So now, friends, this part of it, if you want to read it and mug it up and all, waste of time. I mean, you can better spend it for other areas where the density is higher, where the frequent questions are there, you can concentrate. Rather than this area where content is huge. But now, if you understand the basic principle, it's more than enough. What is polling? What is chairman casting vote? Basically, more than that, there's no need to worry. Who is a scrutinizer? Friends, however, the chairman may be impartial, there is a possibility that he may play around with he may have a game, he may play games with the voting process. Therefore, the law wants to appoint an independent professional to scrutinize the poll process. Obviously, it should be one of the 3 or advocate. Okay, one of the 3 institute members or the advocate. But preferably, as of today, currently, this job is undertaken by the members of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. Rarely will you find a CA. Rarely will you find a CA taking up this job, because obviously CS is far better equipped for this than us. They can do it better. If somebody has studied both, like me, who's member of both the institute, they want to brand, it's not worth it, I tell you. We can earn much more as a chartered accountant than from the thing, which is why sometimes, students they do CA, along with that, they do ACS, ICAI, 3 qualifications they acquire, triplet and all. It's not really. In those days, there was a charm for all that. Today's don't do that. Concentrate on one profession, become a member there, go on with your life, career oriented. One more qualification. Those days, when I was young, it was all big shot. We used to do triplet, 3 courses. Like, for example, I have done both CA and ACS, rank holder in both the institute, 4 times rank holder, interfinal. All that is useless now, I'm telling you. Because you will not get a bigger salary because you're a double. You will not get a huge salary because you're a triplet. Of course, your knowledge may be more because of this, but that knowledge should be demonstrated and used in the work, and then you will get a promotion, etc. So the assumption is that a person who is a member of 3 institute is ultimately bubbling with knowledge. But believe me, if you are a member of CA institute itself, you will have enough more knowledge to handle your job. But if you still want to do one more course, no sir, I want to do at least 2 professional courses, then better prefer CS rather than CMA, because equivalent course, CMA and CA. And we are anyway, cost accounting, we are good at it. It's our subject. It is not as if we are zero in cost accounting. We are also management accountants. Okay, so there's no need for, whereas CS is another area where specialization, you'll get a lot of wide-ranging knowledge on corporate finance, etc., legal procedure. You get a grip on certain areas which are not covered here, you'll get there. Whereas here you will find a lot of overlaps. That may justify doing one more course, but believe me, it will not give you additional income. If that is your goal, no. Okay. You might say, why are you giving us all this information? Unnecessary. Correct. So just as a thought I'm giving you. Okay. So here this is being done by our brethren and sisters of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. Okay. So subject to the provisions of this section, the chairman of the meeting shall have power to regulate the manner in which the poll shall be taken. But once a scrutineer is appointed, the chairman cannot interfere with the scrutineer's work. The scrutineers are given full freedom because they have a duty to ensure the proper conduct of the polling process, to maintain proper records. And finally, they will submit a report to the chairman about the votes cast, etc., etc. It's a standard report format. See, all that you can read it in the rules and all. It is there. Humbly suggesting no need. Rule 21 is there. If you want, you go through it. It's there in the Institute study material. I'm going to see at the end of this session, inshallah, on 27th, after we complete the topic, I will share this PowerPoint presentation in PDF format in the portal. Once I do that, you can use it. There you will find some more content is there in this, which is not covered in the class, which is pure dry theory. If you want, you read it once, but don't waste your time applying your mind and mugging up. My humble request to you, and a suggestion only. Okay, I'm not telling that you should not. Yes, if you see, there's some students have this logic. Suppose they study page 1 to page end of the institute material, everything should come out of that now. Like that, they will approach, and from page 1 to page end, they will go. Not a bad idea, not a great idea either. There is a better method, yet another better method followed by rank holders and by people who clear in first attempt, which is not that method. So, better method is see where the density is high, see where the questions are coming frequently, read that first. Or first you read fully once, then concentrate on density areas, then again read fully once, last minute revision, pray to God and go to the exam. This is the better method than starting with first and then mugging up one by one. By the time you reach middle stage of you will get bored, then you will stop. They'll go somewhere else. So don't do that. If you want to do one quick read completely. In fact, these classes are more than enough for the first revision. What faculties like me and others are doing is to take you through that first revision. Okay. Then go for density. See which are important. Then read that well. Work out problems. And then write problems out. See, don't simply read. Take a paper, see the question, write the answer. Then take the correct answer, the suggested answer. Check your answers. See whether you are tallying with it or you are wrong. If you are wrong, then see what is the correct answer. Correct yourself. Move on with your life. This way you will improve and move towards the exam. What I am suggesting is exam-oriented preparation, success-oriented preparation. If you would like to do that, do it. If you think what I'm saying is not acceptable to you, absolutely no problem. Go ahead with whatever method you are now currently using. Okay, no problem. Whatever you're doing is correct. Please go ahead with it. Okay, now, voting through electronic means. A member in the prescribed class of companies, certain class of companies have been prescribed. For these companies, voting should be only by e-voting, no other type. So a member in the prescribed class of companies may exercise his right to vote by electronic means, also known as e-voting. Who are the prescribed class? Every company which has listed its equity shares on a recognized stock exchange. So straight away, such a company should only use e-voting. A company having not less than 1,000 members, 2 people, one listed company, even less than 1,000 members, go. Unlisted company, listed company, 1,000 above, everybody has to go. Unlisted company, any company, whether public or private, hello, this is nothing to do with public, private. Any company, unlisted, having not less than 1,000 members, which is very difficult. Now, 1,000, see, private companies are out. Obviously, you will immediately correct me. So, how can private company have 1,000 members? Like that. Correct, they cannot have. So, let's leave them. Only public company can have. Imagine, unlisted public company, 1,000 member. That fellow can as well get himself listed and be done with it. But in those cases, you should go for e-voting. Obviously, because when there are so many members, holding a physical meeting is A, costly, B, meaningless, and they can't come. So why waste? Give them the opportunity from vote relaxedly in their house by e-voting. So they should. But the word used is if it's a prescribed class of company, then such a company shall provide. Shall. Shall. The minute you see shall, be afraid because it is compulsory. No option. Shall provide to its members facility to exercise their right to vote on resolutions by electronic means. Okay. Nothing great. Electronic means is not something great. It's simply, boss, you are every day you are getting Google form, yeah. Some donkey or the other is sending Google form, some survey giveaway. We also blindly put down all our name, age, everything, and then do you like this product? That some nonsense we are answering yes or no, sending. That is standard now. Similar e-voting is similar to that. There is a hyperlink. You follow the hyperlink, then you will come to a page where the resolution will be given. Along with that, you will have boxes to be. You click on that. Are you for or against? For or against? Then finally submit. That's all. This is not some rocket science. Right? It happens every day. Okay. So the notice shall be sent to all the members by registered post or electronic means or courier. Now, today, listed companies use only electronic means, no other. Okay. Service is always by electronic means. Why? Because every person should have dematerialized shares. Once you have dematerialized shares, all of you should have a DP account, an account with a depository machine. For that, you should complete KYC. One of the important things you will do is give your email address. Once you have given the email ID, then that is the registered email ID. Be careful when you're opening a DP account, when you give the email address, please give an address with which you will live for a long time. Many times, I find Gen Z changing the mobile number every 15 days. I mean, not 15 days, maybe 2 years, changing the email address. Try to have one permanent email address, preferably one mobile number, which is used by you for a lifetime. The mobile number that I know, I have only one mobile number, which I have been using from 1994. From 1994, the same Airtel number, 98404-26166. That's it. No more numbers. Okay, Bana. Okay, Patni, okay, Vakya, okay, mobile number, which I've been using. Advantage is sometimes a potential client would approach me, but did not come to me, will again come through this number. Sir, I met you. At that time, I wanted to change my auditor. Now I think I'm ready for it. Can I come and meet you? Please come. So, and as a trainer also, many HRs of large corporates, they've saved my number and kept. So they may not call me, but once they want my services, immediately they'll call this number. So this number becomes a very, very important, valuable resource for me, which I cannot afford to change. Like that, you should have a powerful number. Similarly, an email address, with which you should be there for at least 20-25 years. Such an email address only you should give for. I know the nature of Gen Z is change. Change everything. Change your dress, change your hairstyle, but don't change your mobile number, don't change your email ID, because that is the anchor around which your whole life is going to be lived. So, Stephen Covey, the famous author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, says the correct response to a changing world is to have a changeless core. The correct response to a changing world is not to change along with it, but to be a changeless person, a changeless core. Externally, we may change, but internally, the changeless core, the ethical values, things like email address and mobile number, these will never change. Srikanth will never change because the times are changing. I will not change. But some things can change, but not everything. The change outside does not mean that you have to change inside. Inside, you are you. Outside, yes. Of course, I don't wear 1974 fashions here, not even 2012 fashions. I wear 2024 fashions. Okay. I change the shoes that I wear, the dress that I wear, I change it every 2 years. 1 year, when I don't like it, I throw it and I change it. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya avani anyani samyati dehi. Once you don't like, but inside, The hard core, that is always, that is the changeless core. That can never change. The attitudes, so the perseverance, the energy, that can never change. Sorry for this unnecessarily philosophical lecture, but sometimes, we also sometimes change gear and stop being a company law teacher to try to give some more values. But just keep it in mind. Of course, you may not like what I'm saying. And I change my email ID every 2 years. I change my mobile numbers and I throw it and I take new SIM card. I change. I have dual SIM. Agreed, no problem. But some of you who join a large corporate may want a dual SIM because you will have a number that's exclusively yours, and the corporates will keep giving you new numbers. So there I can understand. You can have two numbers, but that one number that you have now should be a permanent number. For example, I have been an auditor for many companies where the CFO, somewhere in the course of the relationship, he will come to me and say, Srikanth sir, this is my number. Keep it with you. I'm giving a missed call from this number. Save it. Do not call me on this for official purpose. That is other number. Keep this with you. That's all. That is the trust that he has in me. Okay. Later on, he wants to be able to contact me whenever he wants. He wants me to recognize him. So I'll save it and I'll keep it. That's all. I won't disturb him. Later on, suddenly I'll get a call from, sir, I'm now working in another company. Very so. That company needs an auditor. Would you like to come? So are you able to see the power of these numbers? Be clear. I'm sorry about this unnecessary, lecture, but think about it. Okay. So the notice should also be placed on the website of the company, etc. Notice should give the clear statement. Company is providing voting by electronic means, okay, etc., etc. All that, statutorily. And see, members who have cast their vote by remote e-voting prior to the meeting may also attend the meeting, but shall not be entitled to cast their vote. So earlier, one question was asked by somebody, I forget who asked that question. The question was basically whether, and that was jumping the gun like anything. So I was just starting this topic when that question came out of the blue, whether for e-voting there should be a physical meeting. I said I will answer this question at the right time. Now the time has come. Yes, even if there's an e-voting, there will be a physical meeting also. Of course, post-corona, what they say, it need not be a physical meeting. It could be a virtual meeting. But the voting will be only by e-voting. Because it's a virtual meeting, you cannot have voting by show of hands, which possibly answers the question raised, which was very interesting, whether virtual meeting will be in person. Technically, it is in person there. But don't extend it and say, remember in person, vote by show of hands now. That doesn't work. In those contexts, it will not work. Because the company having a video conference, it's talking about a different league. So contextually, it won't work. You can hypothetically, as a matter of argument, we can use all that. But in reality, that company would be having only e-voting. E-voting is easier for us. Simply go there, vote and come. For me also easy. Count the votes, finish the matter, go. Promoters will vote. So anyway, I'll be getting my special resolution. Still more number of votes if I get, good only. And most members on e-voting, they will not vote against. Unless the matter is so much detrimental. They will vote blindly, vote for and go. That's all. I'll assure you, if you, many people, even you might be getting, see, Ms. Sania says, I have voted in postal ballot, in electronic means. So happy. I'm very happy that she exercised it. Many members simply delete it in the inbox and go. They'll see what it is and then delete it and go. The company shall cause a public notice to be published at least 21 days before the date of the general meeting in the newspaper. So not less than 3 days before they will open the e-voting. The facility for e-voting shall remain open for not less than 3 days and shall close at 5 p.m. on the date preceding the date of the general meeting. Generally, they give you 15 days. Normally, they give you 15 days. But whatever it is, it will close at 5 p.m. on the date preceding the date of general meeting. So if tomorrow is a general meeting, 5 p.m. yesterday and today, close. No more e-voting. Again, when the facility for remote e-voting is provided, and please note, this is called remote e-voting. as against a member who attends the meeting and votes at the meeting through e-voting. Okay. The remote e-voting, the members of the company holding shares in physical form or materialized form as on the date of cutoff date may opt. Okay. Once you have voted by remote e-voting, you cannot vote again. At the end of the remote e-voting period, the facility will be blocked. Then, as usual, scrutinizer will be appointed. I told you now, 3 of us or advocate or any other person who is not in employment and is a person of repute who is in the opinion. Nobody will take a risk. They will prefer a CS in practice or maybe a CA in practice. That's all. Rarely CA in practice, mostly CS in practice. Okay. CS has the same power, duty, etc., counting of votes, etc. He will have to preserve the data. See, in physical polling, the physical data can be kept by him safely in a locker or in a safe bureau. Here it is all electronic. So there will be a separate location in the cloud where the company will give him access. Only he can go there and he'll keep it there and save it. Okay. So the scrutinizer should also maintain a register and all that, giving details. The register and all other papers relating to voting by electronic mail shall remain in the safe custody. How it will be remaining? On the net, in the cloud, through powerful logical access. Nobody else. Along with the report of the scrutinizer shall be placed on the website of the company. Okay. And the subject to the receipt of requisite number of votes, the resolution, this would also, I hope, answer the question raised by Ms. Pallavi Jha. Subject to the receipt of requisite number of votes, the resolution shall be deemed to be passed on the date of the relevant general meeting. I hope you got the point. So whenever the voting is done, the resolution will be on the date of the meeting. So date of voting cannot be different from the date of meeting. It is the same. Even though actual date is different, all these votings will be taken as referring to the date of the meeting. Okay. A resolution proposed to be considered through voting by electronic means shall not be withdrawn because so many people have voted, cannot go back now. Okay, so this is regarding electronic means. Now we come to postal ballot. Now, my dear friends, history of postal ballot is not 2013 law. E-voting 2013 law. But postal ballot, you have to go back to the old law, the 56 law. In that, an early amendment, the 1999 ordinance came. In that, there were many sections. I think this fellow was 109A. I think it was 109A. Or maybe some others, I forget. Why? Because I remember that in one class in that 1999 amendment, what happened was there were many amendments, including your famous 77A, which is buyback. Your 68 section now, buyback. That section in those days, in the old law was 77A. Because it was introduced later on, they couldn't renumber the section. So this fellow was introduced as 77A. And then another 109A was there. I think Nami something. This fellow was there. Postal ballot was there. Then 180, what is that? 372A was there. So many sections are there like this. So one student in Bangalore, I used to go to Bangalore chapter for conducting 2-day revision classes. So I'll go there 2 days, I'll complete the syllabus and come back. Complete syllabus. Entire syllabus I'll complete in 2 days, I'll come back. And many people, in spite of my teaching, they got 60, 70, and they used to come and tell me, sir, I cleared the exam in Bangalore. Now, when this amendment had come, immediately after the amendment, I was going there and I was giving them important topics. And I was telling, then I said, look here, this time, read all the A topics. Read all the A topics. One girl, so you are telling like that, girls only topic. No, ma. What I mean by A topic is those sections which are having A, recently amended section with A after them, 22A, 77A, 109A, like that, those A topics you read. Okay, that is important to the exam because definitely out of the two questions are going to come. Like that, I used to say. So that time postal ballot was introduced. It was a big thing, because at that time only meetings have to be conducted, members have to go. So as a measure of corporate, shall we say, investor protection, they said let's have some other method by which the member can express his vote. So they introduced postal ballot. See, today the whole concept of post itself is going out to a group of persons from the Gen Z who are listening to this lecture. If I tell post also, you'll start laughing. What is this post, sir? I don't know what is that post like that. You'll say, yes, even I don't know what is post. Okay, because today everything is WhatsApp. Yeah, WhatsApp. I'm sitting in a foreign country. My manager is sending me a complete report, which I have to review and I have to give him my opinion. If it comes by courier, what will happen? Even post it will come, what will happen? It's coming instantaneously to me in such an era. Or else email is there. Okay, electronic means is there. So if you're sending a postal letter or something, imagine what you're doing. Why are you doing it? Okay. But in those days, in 19 and 2000, digitalization had not started in a big way. The maximum we had was email. And even email was seen as something new. And many of the older people now, who are older to me, I had converted to electronics. But there were seniors now who were, when I was 40, there were some Buddhas who were 16. Those people, or when I was 37, 35, there were some Buddhas. Now, those Buddhas would never accept email. They will say, please send by post. I want to see paper, kagas, chalo will say. Now, the point is, at that time, postal ballot. So they introduced the concept by which they said companies should send notice of the meeting along with the resolution. Hey, no meeting. They should send the resolution to be passed completely with all the explanatory statement. Along with that, they should send the polling sheet also. Along with that, they should send self-addressed stamped envelope, SAS, self-addressed stamped envelope, so that the shareholder will take the ballot sheet. He will read the complete notice, resolution, explanatory statement. Believe me, no shareholder will read. If you show me one shareholder who has read the entire postal ballot form, including resolution, maybe a few people, 30, 20% people sitting in Ahmedabad, Baroda, they will read. Some people near Tanjavur, Kumbhakonam, they will read. Other than that, nobody will read. They'll simply throw it in the dustbin or they'll keep it separately along with the Hindu paper. Finally, it will go for waste paper wala, kabadi wala, and that's it. End of story. Okay. So, point I'm trying to make is the postal ballot. Then the postal ballot form will be taken out, and then you can with pen or kagas or kalam, tick, tick, tick. Do you remember? This is called paper. This is called pen. You write with it. Okay. Sorry, it's all gone. This is a beautiful Lamy pen. I have a collection of more than 30, 40 pens. This is one of the easier, regular use pens. Okay, the point I'm making is, so you actually tick and you put it in the cover, self-addressed stamp envelope. For that, they give you 30 days. Within 30 days, you have to send it. Then when all collected, again, scrutineer will be appointed, open, count, announce. That's all. Okay. This is called postal ballot. Postal ballot means voting by post or through any electronic mode. Hello, brother. Please careful. They have amended this. When they came to the new law, they knew postal is going out. So they said all these rules, we can make it applicable for electronic mode also. So you can either have it by postal ballot or you can use email also. Okay. So instead of having a hyperlink, what you can do, you can send it by email. But hyperlink, what I mean by hyperlink is there will be a HTML there on which you click. So directly it will take you to the site where the sheet will be. That is e-voting. Whereas here it will be kagas or kalam. Okay. Which is stupid. In 2024 AD, I am even talking about postal ballot, paper, pen, and all. Shame on me, shame on you, shame on the whole world. Let's not do that. You are Gen Z. I am for what it is worth, Gen X. Okay. So even Gen X we are 60s born, yeah. Okay. We We will not accept it now. Forget you. We are into digitalization. We have already digitalized ourselves. Okay. In fact, I have a library. I told 23,000 books I have. But today, in a year, I easily read minimum out of the 70 books, 72 books that I read. About 30 books I read on Kindle. 30 more than nowadays. The number is going higher. I read on Kindle. I don't buy the book physically and read. I buy it on Kindle or download it on Kindle and I read it. So digitalization is the only way out now. So the point I'm making is postal ballot is both postal ballot and electronic mode are not alag-alag. They want to make it same only. Now comes the real question. Should all companies go for postal ballot? Yes. For certain types of businesses, you have to go only for postal ballot. See, this company should be on top here. Sorry. Hello has jumped down. A company shall, and that it defined in two parts. A company shall, let's see if I can correct it. I think I need to do this in a different way. No. Let me not do this now. That is why I don't generally share my PowerPoint before the classes. Because there's a need for some correction sometimes, which I do. So let's not do that now. So a company A shall, are you able to see the point? This is shall. Shall in respect of such items of business as the central government may, by notification, declare to be transacted only by means of postal ballot. So, where certain matters are to be done only by postal ballot, company shall do it only by postal ballot. B, may. So, know the option in respect of any item of business other than ordinary business and any business in respect of which directors or auditors have a right to be heard at any meeting. Other than that, any business which is not compulsory also, you can do on postal ballot. Now you will ask me, sir, why ordinary business cannot be done by postal ballot? For that, you should know what are the ordinary businesses. Do you remember what are the ordinary businesses? Yeah. Point approval of accounts and auditors report and directors report, declaration of dividend, appointment of directors in the place of those retiring, appointment of auditors and fixing their remuneration. Now, out of this, the first matter is very important, accounts. Now, accounts, if you're going to do it on postal ballot, you are denying the shareholder the right to ask questions. So there they say no. Either you have a physical meeting or you have an e-voting and a virtual meeting or you have an e-voting and a physical meeting, but no postal ballot for ordinary business. There may be other businesses where any matter in which financial affairs are to be taken up and directors and auditors have right to be heard. Yes, one more thing. Suppose you're going to remove an auditor at the AGM and appoint a person other than the retiring auditor. The retiring auditor has the right to speak. Similarly, a director is going to be removed at a meeting. He has the right to speak and the members have the right to listen. So those cases you cannot do through postal ballot. Okay. Later on, when you come to auditors, maybe I will handle it. Inshallah, I will handle it. When I do that, we'll talk more about this auditors appointment, removal of auditors at an AGM and all that. We will talk about. There's a link between this chapter and auditors a little bit. Transact such business by means of postal ballot in such manner as may be prescribed, instead of transacting such business at a general meeting. Any item of business required to be transacted by means of postal ballot under clause A may be transacted at a general meeting by a company which is required to provide the facility to members to vote by electronic means under section 109, 108. Are you able to understand? If you want to have postal ballot, you can also transact it at a general meeting, which is required to provide the facility to members. So instead of going for postal ballot, you can as well go for e-voting, which means, friends, Please listen to me. Today, no company goes for postal ballot. They straight away go for e-voting only. Postal ballot, nobody goes. But there are certain matters which can be done only by postal ballot. Now, that can be done only by e-voting. Are you able to understand? If you don't do postal ballot, then you have to do it by e-voting only, right? If a resolution is assented to by the requisite majority by means of postal ballot, it shall be deemed to have been duly passed. A general meeting convened in that behalf. See, in the case of postal ballot, there is no meeting. Votes are sent by post, counted, that's all. But it shall be deemed as if, deemed, though no meeting was held, it is as if a meeting has been convened and held, deemed to have been duly passed. The central government may declare items of business that can be transacted only by postal ballot. Such a list is available. It may be important from the exam point of view. Sometimes they might ask you and discuss 5 matters which can be done only at a postal by means of postal ballot. You may know. I'll cover that part now. Okay. Other than that, the pure procedural aspects of postal ballot, I'm quietly skipping. Okay. Good. So what I'm doing is I'm quickly going for postal ballot completion so that thereafter we can go a little bit slowly. So the postal ballot should be sent within 30 days of postage by the company. So it should be sent by them. Only those will be considered. Where a company is required to decide or pass any resolution by way of postal ballot, it will send a notice plus draft resolution. The notice shall be sent either by registered post or speed post or electronic or through courier. The members should send their dissent within 30 days of date of dispatch of notice. Date of friends, note it. This is not date of service. Don't count 48 hours and all. I dispatch it, keep proof of posting. That's all. I send my email, see the time of sending, it will be received that day itself. Doesn't matter. Date of dispatch. Okay. From that, you count 30 days. Within 30 days, we have to get it. Okay. An advertisement, later on, when you come to General Classes Act, you relate this to this. Whenever they use the word of or from a date, you should not include that date. You should start counting from the next date. This you will read it in General Classes Act. See, when they say within 30 days of the date of dispatch of notice, you should not count the date of dispatch of notice in the 30 days. You should start counting from the next day, count 30 days. By the expiry of the 30th day, it should be received. Next day, it is received also late. Have you understood what I said? If you are 30 days of date of dispatch or 30 days from date of dispatch, both the words are same, then you should not count the date of dispatch. Chhod dijiye. From the next day, you start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, till you come to these 30 days. Then on the 30 day, by midnight, you should receive. If you have not received even 1 minute late, gone. Not to be considered. Okay, so this again, advertisement should be published, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now I'm going to cover in the next 5 minutes the following items of business shall be transacted only by means of voting through postal ballot. Very, very important. Hey, friends, I hope you are all able to understand, or is it becoming too boring? Because this part of it is really boring area, which is why I have cut it short like anything. This can become even more boring than this. Believe me when I say that. Okay. Shall I presume that you are clear on this, or you are all want to sleep? Because I see no action here. Let me see if any questions are. Oh, you 12 questions in chat. Still, some people are persisting in voting in chat. But anyway, let us complete it. Sir, in case of voting by poll, there is yes, differential voting also. I showed you now. When there's a differential voting, how it will happen. What is the difference between voting on poll and postal ballot? We just know stuff. On poll means there will be a meeting or an e-voting, whatever. Postal ballot, no meeting. But the polling sheet will be the same. Okay. Instead of asking what is the difference, please understand them separately. What is voting on poll? What is e-voting? What is postal ballot? Understand them separately. If you do this comparison and contrast, you will only get confused. Because if you ask me, sir, what is the difference between camel and lion? How can I say, I can describe a camel, I can describe a lion, so that you will not have any doubt. How to do it? Then both have four legs. But a camel has hump, lion has mane. Like that, if you keep on distinguishing, you will get confused. Don't get confused. Do you know what is a postal ballot? Yes. Do you know what is voting on poll? Yes. That's all. Can an insolvent shareholder vote? He cannot vote. But what will happen to the shares of an insolvent shareholder? You studied it in membership, members, whatever the topic, share capital and debentures or whatever, whichever topic you studied, where a member, when he becomes insolvent, what will happen to the shares? Manvi. The shares will now devolve, or it will be transmitted to the assignee or receiver. That assignee or receiver only can vote. He has to be sent notice. Do you remember that? So he can vote, but not the insolvent share. Right. So beautiful. Somebody is giving an answer for that. Thank you. Thank you. So nice for Ajay Surya to give that. We believe teachers. Yeah, whatever. Thank you very much for those kind words of Mr. Ajay Surya. Often from data, same whenever mentioned, there is to count from SSS, even in other subjects, because SSS, because this is not from Companies Act. You will study this in General Clauses Act. I'm jumping the gun a little because topically in General Clauses Act, when you come across it, you will remember. In Srikanth also told like that, like that. Decorum means discipline, yeah, discipline. Good behavior, decorum of the meeting. See, when I was taking physical classes, of course, in final and inter of CA and all, perfect silence will be maintained. But some colleges, B schools and all, when I go, there the students will be shouting, So I will take the duster and I will bang it on the table. So that begin to bring decorum to the class. Everybody, they'll be shocked and they'll stop. Then I'll say, come on, let's start the topic. So that is called decorum. Discipline and good behavior. The rupees paid up, lack of paid up share capital is also applicable for section 100 EGM. Okay. Hello, I don't remember what I suggest. No, Halari, instead of asking me, you go there. 100 I've already taught now. You do the comparison now. What do you say? Don't you think that will improve your knowledge? Instead of always depending on a teacher to answer your question, why don't you seek the answers to your question on topic which has already been taught? Just to go there and compare. In that process, you will remember it better. Think about it. I'm just making a humble suggestion to you. Every time if a teacher has to come and tell you everything, why? What do you say? See, many things are available on Google. Still people go and ask other people. Why? I don't ask anybody anything nowadays. If I have a doubt, immediately I refer to Google. If the Google does not have the answer, you think ordinary people will have answers? So if using Google's knowledge and using my own experience and intelligence, if I cannot arrive at an answer, what is the point? Yeah, like that, I think. You should also start thinking like that. Okay, instead of always depending. So because the 100 was a section I already taught. Okay. So I'm not saying they are the same. I am saying do a comparison and study. I think you misunderstood me. I am not saying, hello, listen to me, Lahriji. I am not saying 100 and 109 are the same. I am saying if you are interested to improve your knowledge and memory, do a comparative study if you want. If you don't want, don't do it. Good job. So now moving on. So there are so many things. I'll quickly run through it. Some of this you already studied in other topics. Alteration of objects class of the memorandum. Alteration of articles of the memorandum. Okay. Alteration of main objects of the memorandum. See, nowadays there is no main objects. So for a company incorporated under the Companies Act 2013, objects class. Company which was existing immediately before the commencement, it will have main objects. So alteration of the main objects, if you want to do that, you have to do. After that, 2013, no main objects, only objects. Okay. Alteration of articles of association in relation to insertion of removal of subsection 68(2) for private and public. Okay. Subsection 68. That is, when you want to convert private to public or public to private, you will amend the articles now to include or exclude. That resolution can be done only by postal ballot. Change in place of registered office outside the local limits of city, town, or village. Change in objects for a company which has raised money from public through prospectus. You might have studied it in prospectus. In those cases, you have to pass a special resolution for changing. And in case there are any dissenting shareholders, they have to be given an option to exit. All that you would have seen in prospectus. Okay. Issue of shares with differential rights. DVR shares. Differential voting right shares. DVRs. So that also needs postal ballot. Variation of rights attached to a class of shares. Buyback of shares. Your good old 68. Then you go out of your syllabus. From now on, we are going out of your syllabus. Election of director under section 151. Sale of the whole or substance, the whole of the undertaking, 180 subsection 1A. Subclass A, 181A. Similarly, giving loans and guarantee in excess of 186(3), that is intercorporate loans and investments. Okay. The H, I, and J are out of your syllabus. Still, you have to remember because these are matters which you have to use postal ballot. Generally, the question will be write 5 matters which require postal ballot. So if you don't want to remember H, up to G, you remember it. You can easily remember 5 now. Buyback, you can remember, yeah. Change in place of registered office, you can remember. Change in objects. Okay, alteration of object class. Alteration of articles of association for conversion. 5 over. That's all. Enjoy. Okay. Keep it. What I said, write these 5 out and keep it ready because maximum they'll ask you only 5. They'll give you 3 marks, maximum 5 marks. 5 marks, no, they won't give 3 marks. Okay. Where it's for such business is required to be transacted by means of postal ballot. It may be transacted at a general meeting by a company by electronic means. So what you do is you have e-voting in the general meeting. Even though it's postal ballot, if you comply with the rules pertaining to e-voting, okay, no problem. OPC and companies having up to 200 are not required to transact any business through postal ballot. I think this itself is redundant. Usually MCA confusion. After all, the e-voting, they said 1,000. So here they want to be sure. Private companies need not go for postal ballot. Even public companies, less than 200, no need for postal ballot. Okay. Articles of a company may provide that no member shall exercise voting right in respect of any shares registered in the following. If any calls have not been paid, or if the company has exercised any right of lien, meaning if the shareholder owes any money to the company, then instead of giving him the shares can be taken as a right of lien. There is an automatic lien on the shares. Okay. Where the shareholder owes money to the company, then as a shareholder, then to that extent they can take the shares. Okay. In those cases, where is an arrears of calls or the excise lien has been, that is forfeiture of shares. Those cases, no vote can be exercised. Other than the above grounds, no member can be prohibited from exercising his voting right. The company cannot prohibit any member from exercising his voting right on any other ground. Okay. So just a matter of interest. Every member has 1 vote on show of hands, 1 person, 1 vote. But on a poll, 1 share, 1 vote. We already saw this. So if you have 200 shares in Reliance, you have 200 votes. On a poll taken at a meeting of the company, a member entitled to more than 1 vote or his proxy were allowed or other person vote for him, need not use all his votes in the same way. See, simple boss. I am having 200. You are having 200 shares in Reliance. Now, you can divide your votes. You can vote 100 for, 100 against. Why you will do that? God only knows. You can vote 150 for, 50 against. Why you will do that? God only knows. But you can do it. That's all. Why you will do it? After all, if you are for the resolution, vote 200 in favor. Finish it. Why vote like this? I'm not able to understand. Maybe you are able to understand, educate me. Otherwise, God only knows. But enjoy. Joint shareholders must concur in voting unless the articles provide to the contrary. Many times, listed companies, this rule will be, the application itself will very clearly say the polling sheet will be sent only, e-voting sheet will be sent only to the first shareholder who will vote. Only his vote will be considered. I agree to that. So in those cases, no need for concurrence. So listed company articles will very clearly provide to the contrary. The voting in case of joint shareholders is done in the order of seniority, not seniority of age, but seniority as in the order in which the names appear in the register of members. So invariably, the first voter, the first mentioned shareholders only will be voting. Okay. The joint shareholders have to have a right to instruct the company as to the order in which their names are to appear in the register. Okay. So normally the board of directors decides the agenda, etc. Now we'll come to circulation of members' resolution a little later. Right now, let's have a small break for 5 minutes, and then we'll again assemble for further learning on company law. Very happy. We are making good progress. Another one class, we will complete the topic. If you have any doubts, you can raise it. In case you are clear also, some of you can put it in the query pad to give me some encouragement that I can proceed with the topic. Like, sir, like if you want. If you have not understood, please wait. So let's have a small break. Sir, small break, sir. 5 minutes ka break. comment. So shall I start, sir? So I find Mr. Balamurugan is here. I see his message. Welcome, sir. It's a long time since we had you in the query pad. Because the only way, think about it, in my regular classes in those days, I could see the students and their facial expressions, etc. Now I cannot. But somehow, I have got used to that. This Buddha has not found it difficult to get along with them. I simply imagine that I am having a student. Usually in those days in my Chennai classes, minimum I'll have about 100 students or 150 students in a hall. And I'll be on the stage. I'll be having PowerPoint, etc., standing and taking. I was young at that time. So now Buddha ho gaya. So now I'm sitting in the chair and taking this, but still nice to know students are there. And so good. Moving on. Circulation of members' resolution. See, normally we say resolutions are to be proposed by the board in the agenda. If member wants to do, how to bring it? One more thing we said very clearly was, whatever is mentioned in the agenda only can be taken up at a meeting. Member cannot just like that barge in and say, Mr. Chairman, I want to take up this matter. No, not allowed. Because meetings of companies, the general meetings of companies are very important statutory occasion. It's not like some society meeting, where any other matter is the subject of the chair. Sometimes in Rotary meeting, we'll have a closed door meeting. Some fellow will take up something, everybody is talking nonsense. That all. Such things cannot be done in general meeting of a company. Even a board meeting of a company, you can. In the board agenda, you can have a last item that says, any other matter, last but one item, any other matter with the permission of the chair. You can put that. And when we say chair, we don't mean chair, the inanimate object chair. It is the chairman or chairperson who is referred to as the chair. Please remember this usage of English when we say, with due respects to the chair. Sometimes I stand up in a meeting and when I start contradicting the chairman, I will begin saying, dear members, respected chairman, dear members, with due respect to the chair, I wish to point out that. That means the person is not respected. It is the seat, the chair seat that is respected. But he or she is not currently occupying that seat. So long as they occupy the seat, they get the respect. If they're out of the seat, they're like any other member. Just come and sit here. You also talk. Even before that, you have to get the permission of the chair. Okay. One important meeting protocol in future, in any stage in your life, please remember it. In any meeting, if there is a chairperson, you are not supposed to address any member directly. You have to address only the chairperson or the president or the master of the lodge or whoever is sitting in power. Only that person should be addressed appropriately. Directly, you should not address remember, even in the parliament, you always address the speaker. Any speech given by any minister, it will begin by the respected speaker or like that only. It will be, the speech is addressed to the speaker. Okay, who is the chairperson of a parliament or the legislative assembly. So always address the chair, never address anybody else. Direct argument and all cannot be entered into. If you want to say, immediately stand up and say, I respectfully differ with the Minister for Electricity who is talking through her nose, who doesn't know anything. All that you tell, but you can't tell directly to the minister. Okay, you have to tell it to the speaker. Mr. Speaker, as usual, the finance minister is talking without understanding what she's saying. All that you can say, but don't directly address her. Okay, it's the point. Because that is not correct. That is unparliamentary behavior, but usually practiced only in parliament. Okay, so that is why possibly it is called unparliamentary. It should be called parliamentary behavior. Okay, sometimes in my Rotary meeting, when I am chairing the meeting, sometimes there will be a little bit of intercon. Raja, immediately bang the gavel and say, ladies and gentlemen, please remember, This is not the Parliament of India. This is Rotary meeting. Immediately they start laughing and then keep quiet. Said, let us proceed with certain decorum. Let us not talk amongst ourselves. If you have anything to address, please address the chat. Address me. I will definitely communicate it to the other members in the. So that is the one. Okay. So that is how it is. Good. I mean, these are all small points of protocol which you need to be, it should be good if you are able to remember. Make you a more well-groomed and sophisticated person. Okay. Getting all India rank is not a big thing. So be a sophisticated person. Should be a person of reputation and capability. Okay. So coming to the circulation. So normally the board of directors will decide the agenda. Member cannot raise in the middle. So how then he can raise? 111 gives him the opportunity. Think about it. If there is any thing that you want to propose, some matter that you feel that the board of directors are not taking up, you want to propose, you want to suggest, then you can do that. Okay. Here again, such resolutions and statements received from the requisite number of members as specified in section 100. Here, directly they are linking it to section 100. Are you able to understand? Already somebody was doing comparative research and asking me to confirm and all. Here they are very clear. They are saying, go to 100. What is the requisite number of members as specified in 100? That shall be the number for circulation also. So if that requisite number, do you remember that? 1/10. Am I correct? Of the total voting power. Or 1/10 of the paid up share capital. Okay. If they so desire it, then they can ask for circulation of the resolution by the board to all members entitled to notice of the meeting and shall be taken. Now, there are two ways of doing it. One, I do not know when you will hold a meeting, but generally I anticipate that you will hold the meeting at such and such a time. Therefore, I deposit the resolution well in time. Or you send a notice 21 days before the meeting. I get it. Now I know that you are going to meet and take up the items of agenda. So within 14 days before the meeting, I can send you a resolution. So two categories are there. Okay. So a company shall, on requisition in writing of such number of members, we'll see that as required in section 100, it should give notice of such resolution to all the members. So once you send it in the right way, then everything will be sent. They can either give notice of a resolution or it can be a statement with respect to the matters referred to in a proposed resolution or business to be dealt with. Please note, there are two things which can be circulated. One, resolution to be proposed. Or you can also suggest there is already a matter to be taken. For example, we already saw the company wants to sell one of the undertakings. They have got a fair value done. Now they have located a buyer. They are saying we are going to sell it at the fair value only like that. But according to you, that fair value is bogus. That is the valuer who has given it is given false valuation. You have got another valuation done by another valuer, which is higher. So you want to inform this to the members. Are you able to understand? You can do this by way of a statement. So you can say, along with that letter, my statement also should be circulated to all the members. Don't you think this is important in a democratic setup? 100%. One of the most powerful things about a democracy is information. The minute you prevent information from reaching the people, we will stop being a democracy and we will become a dictatorship or anything other than a democracy. So one of the powers of democracy is my right to get everything informed to me. I will make my own call. Yeah. You don't decide what I should listen, what I should not listen. Because it is not convenient for you, don't prohibit it. Let it come to me. Let me decide. Let me decide whether Maharashtra election was held correctly. You may have one view, he may have one view. I will decide finally what is correct. So long as there is no defamation, means so long as nobody should be insulted or no false accusation should be made, so long as that is ensured, fair reporting, facts to be given to all the members. Nothing wrong in that. Nothing wrong in that. See, during the emergency, after the emergency, I should say, or during the emergency, when the emergency was to be cancelled, a commission went into the matter called Sarkaria Commission. Sarkaria Commission. That commission came out with a report about the various things that are happening in emergency. Very, very factual report, not opinionated report. 600-page report. That report was one of the basis for removal of the then government and cancellation of emergency itself. Okay, that Sarkari report, one fine morning went out of circulation. No copies available. Whole generation, whole 2 generations of people, 75 to 25, or rather, I should say 2015, because in 15, a copy of the Sarkaria Commission was retrieved from the President's office, because one copy of any report will be sent to the President's office, where it was preserved, and the great President Abdul Kalam gave it to the press, and it was published by an independent body. And that Sarkaria Commission report is available in my library, 600-page report. If you read it, it will be very moving. Point is not that. What happened during emergency need not be hidden. Everybody should know about it. Nothing wrong. Why hide? So information should be freely given to everybody. Based on that, let him or them form their own opinion. In a democratic setup, everybody has the right to form your own opinion. Okay, you may think what I'm saying is unnecessary from a company law perspective, but from a professional context, sir, we are going to fight income tax department. Some of you are going to fight GST department. Some of you. So be prepared. The executive arm of the government is ruthless. They have to be dealt with legally. They will not give you the opportunity. You should demand for an opportunity to be heard. You should demand for your view to be included in the order. They will not give you that opportunity. They will bulldoze you. See, the Constitution gives them so much power. Definitely, absolute power brings with it absolute, they will do whatever they want. So as members of the profession, you should be clear on your rights, your legal rights. Good. But at the same time, don't antagonize the members of the service, because after all, they are human beings. They are sitting in the chair and doing what they have been told to do by their masters. So you're not fighting them. You are fighting the system itself. So don't hit them. Hit the system. And hit the system with the law that the system created. And the system has to buckle down, because the law is the law for all of us. Okay? That is the greatness of democracy. Now, coming to the point. Time limit for deposit of requisition, very, very important. Now let us understand that there are 2 things. One is notice of a resolution, right? Notice of a resolution. You want to propose a resolution at a meeting, boss. You don't know when I will hold. So you deposit it here. Okay. But this part I really don't know. Idea is 6 weeks before the date of meeting, they say. 6 weeks means how many days? 6 weeks. 1 week is 7 days. 7 into 6, 42 days. So what you should do, I suppose, is generally double guess the AGM date and then count 42 and then go back and at least see to it that there's a 5-day gap or 6-day gap between your deposit, and there should be 6 weeks. So once the company gets the resolution, 100% at the coming AGM, they have to take it up. They cannot avoid. So you can do it 6 weeks ahead. Notice of a resolution. Any other requisition, for example, statement of matters, that can be done 2 weeks before the date of meeting. How? Remember, there will be a notice. Am I correct? 21 days. That is 3 weeks. Am I correct? 21 days is 3 weeks. So 3 weeks, you will get your, around this time, 3 weeks, they will be here. You will get your notice. Now, you are having 21 days. So, you have 7 days now to quickly make your statement and deposit it with the company at least 2 weeks before the date of meeting. Then, at the meeting, before that, the company has a duty now. The company now, a copy of we'll see what the company is. The company has to circulate this notice to the members along with them, as if it is similar to the notice of the resolutions. Okay, right? So, any resolution, you double guess the date of meeting and calculate 42 days, 6 weeks, and deposit it before that. Or Notice has already been served. You have received it 21 clear days. Now you prepare your statement, etc., and send it to the company not less than 2 weeks. So that gives the company sufficient time to circulate it to all the members. A copy of this requisition signed by the requisitionist, okay, shall be deposited at the company, register office of the company within the time limit prescribed, right? If after the copy of the resolution has been deposited at the registered office, an AGM is called on a date within 6 weeks after the copy has been deposited. The copy, although not deposited, shall be deemed to have been properly deposited. See, think about it. I am calculating 6 weeks and I'm depositing. The minute you get my notice, immediately you hold the meeting within 14 days and you say, hey, 6 weeks you should deposit it, man. No. So in other words, the 6 weeks is meaningless. You deposit it in such a way, in case they hold the meeting, at that meeting they have to give it. It shall be deemed to be. Okay. The company shall not be bound to circulate any statement if on the application either of the company or any other person who claims to be aggrieved, the central government, in this case the regional director, declares that the rights conferred by this section are being abused to secure needless publicity for defamatory matter. What is defamation? Defamation is making any false statement about anybody so as to tarnish their good name. See, Srikanth has a reputation as a chartered accountant in the city of Chennai. More importantly, he has a reputation as a man of honor in the city of Chennai. Okay, now, if you go around making statements about me that are false but demeaning me, I have a right to sue you for defamation. If you speak the words, it is slander. If you put it in writing and publish it, it is libel. I have a right to claim damages from you. Okay? For your information, don't get excited. Don't do that. Don't ever make a statement which is not supported by fact about another person, because that will amount to defamation. So if these requisitionists, in their enthusiasm, are writing about the MD of the company, the MD is a crook. His only intention is to sell the undertaking at a price below the fair value. The MD is a fraud. We know what type of man that MD is. Like that and all, he used to beat his wife. See, all this is not, it may be untrue also. Without proof, how you can say that? So if you say that, it is securing needless publicity to a defamatory matter. So the MD will immediately make an application to the regional director, and the regional director go through it. What is this, Mr. X? About you, they are telling like this. No. No, need not be circulated. That's all. The company need not circulate this statement. So better still, don't use defamatory statements. Stick to facts. Facts can never let you down. Facts can never let you down. Facts supported by evidence can never let you down. Okay. So an order as above by the RD may also direct that the cost incurred by the company should be borne by the requisitionist. Okay. Because of you only all this nonsense can you pay. Okay. So in case the company does not circulate a valid requisition, penalty of 25,000. So this is a very interesting and a beautiful section. Interesting. Let us see if you have any doubts or questions, and then move on to special resolution. Thank you, Ms. Mahima, for saying some good things. Let's see if any chat. Oh, no question in chat. So I shall presume in my favor that there is no doubt by you. Now we are going to go to another exciting area, your good old resolutions. That is types of resolutions, ordinary, special, blah, blah. We have another 10 minutes. Let's see if we can do that. It's very fairly simple. And I'm sure many of you are quite familiar with the definition of special resolution and ordinary resolution and all that. In fact, you might have studied it so many times that you are so bored with me for teaching it. Can anybody, I'm just giving you, we'll do one thing. This stage, I will take this one, and then I'm going to ask you now a question. What is the definition of a special resolution? Please type it either in the query pad or in the chat box, preferably in the query pad. Definition of special resolution. A special resolution is a resolution, blank, blank, blank. What is it? What is it? Define a special resolution from your knowledge, from your elaborate studies into this subject. Please. Because first I need to get what is in your mind out. Humble request. Don't think otherwise, kindly put up definition. Tejaswin Marwa comes out with a fantastic answer. Others can also try. Only Tejaswin Marwa. 4 people in chat. 75% majority. And now see, already that 75% has come. Matters other than issues taken up in AGM. Boss, that is business. Kana, Sai Kiran bhai, Sai Kiran, that is business. I am asking special resolution. You are giving a definition of special business. Any matter, any other matter at an annual general meeting and any matter at any other meeting is a special business. Okay, that is special business, not special resolution. What we want is special resolution. Votes cast in favor, not Manvi. Wow. Manvi and Manvi in chat and Tejasvi Marwa in past. You are really exceeding all hopes and limits. Only special business you can do special resolution with 3-4 votings. The 3 by 4, 75%. Please erase from your mind. Erase it. Take it out. The 3 by 4, 75. Take it out of your mind. Chod. That is what I'm trying to do here, so that you'll be fresh. Mahima also more than 75%, 3/4. No. Special resolution is the resolution passed by 2/3 majority. Ankit Mishra, where you get the 2/3, Baba? Sir, why are you bringing 181 CR? I am asking definition of special resolution. Your knowledge is great, but I am asking definition of special resolution. Boss, I will explain, don't worry. Because if I explain, you will say 3/4, 75% and all. That is why I want you to first get it out of your system first. Okay? Only 2 people have given. Manvi given the correct definition, of course, in short form. Votes cast in favor, not less than 3, not less than. Only difference between Manvi and Tejaswin is that Tejaswin uses the words more than, whereas Manvi uses the correct words. Votes cast in favor, not less than 3 times the number of votes cast against, if any. Manvi was correct, but again, incomplete, but correct. Okay. So others are there. Significant decisions to be taken. All this is given in the collegiate level knowledge. Special resolution is a resolution passed on special occasions, sir. All these BCom level answers. Okay. When votes cast in favor are 3 times votes cast against. Correct. Again, Hasiji, slightly words are different, but you are right. That 3 times, once I say I'm happy. 3 times. With this effective intelligence, let us go there. Other than wow, other than special every variety has been covered today. Every variety of answer. See, your answer is not wrong, but your answer has to be reworded. You have written votes cast in, of course, it needs more filling in, but by and large, it is correct. Votes in favor must be, you have put 3 times. No, you should put not less than 3 times. Okay. More than means equal to is not covered. See, exactly if it is 3/4, exactly if it is 3 times, what happens? So more than is not correct. To the extent of more than, your answer is wrong. Your answer, whereas Manvi's answer was correct. Votes cast in favor shall be not less than 3 times the number of votes cast against, if any. Okay, that is the correct approach. Then it needs more filling, but basically this is. Okay, good job. So there is something called a motion. Anything that is moved at a meeting is called motion. Anything that is moved at a meeting is called motion. So usually what we say, Mr. Chairman, I move that the following resolution be taken up for discussion. That's called proposal. Then another person stands up. Mr. Chairman, I second the motion. Okay. You can call it motion or you can call it resolution. Normally, motion is incomplete resolution. That is, before the resolution is passed, it is called motion. We're able to understand? Once the resolution is passed, it becomes a resolution. A motion, when approved by the required majority, is said to be passed. A motion, when passed, is a resolution. There are two types of motions. A substantive motion, which is pertaining to the item of agenda. Whatever is the item of agenda is called substantive motion. But for running the meeting, conduct of meeting, there may be various proposals, right? Motions, right? Mr. Chairman, I move that the meeting be adjourned. Mr. Chairman, I demand a poll. Mr. Chairman, I demand that a new chairman be elected. These are all procedural motions. Slight distinction. Procedural motions and all, passing and all, they'll be passed and then we'll go on with that. Whereas substantive motion, when approved by the required majority, is said to be passed. A motion, when passed, is a resolution. Okay? Now, there are two types of resolutions. Ordinary resolution, notice to be given under this act that it is an ordinary resolution. Votes cast in favor of the resolution, including the casting vote, if any, of the chairman by members who being entitled to do so, vote in person or where proxies are allowed by proxies or by postal ballot. So, votes should be cast in favor, including casting vote of chairman, by members who are entitled to do, who vote in person or in proxy. So, members present in person or by proxy and voting, or by postal ballot and voting. So, members present and voting, the votes cast in favor by the members present and voting exceed the votes, if any, cast against the resolution. See, here we use the word exceed. Here we use the word exceed. Right. Now, special resolution. So, the notice requiring the act should be correctly given. The intention to propose the resolution as a special resolution should be duly specified. For ordinary resolution, you need not say to pass the following resolution as an ordinary resolution. But for a special resolution, you should say to agenda number 4, to pass the following resolution as a special resolution. Should be specified in the notice. Votes cast in favor of the resolution. Now somebody was telling, no, Riddhi, you teach that like that. No, I'm teaching. Okay. Votes cast in favor of the resolution, including the casting vote, if any, of the chairman, etc., by members present who are present in person or through proxies or by postal ballot, are required to be, they are using the word required to be. If I were drafting, I would simply say shall be. But the Act uses the words are required to be, which is very convoluted English. Suppose I were drafting, I'll simply remove are required to, and I'll put votes cast in favor of the resolution, blah, 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 shall be not less than 3 times. But this is the language used by the draftsman of the 2013 law. I don't want to change it because I'm teaching you. So my knowledge of English doesn't permit this type of usage, but this is what is there in the law. I don't want to teach something other than that. So votes cast in favor of the resolution by members present and voting, blah, 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 are required to be not less than 3, not less than, got it? Not less than 3 times the number of the votes, if any, cast against the resolution. If any is very important because there may be 0 votes against. There may be 0 votes. It's very, very important. There may be 0 votes cast against the resolution, in which case 0 into 3 is still 0, in which case 1 vote in favor, 0 votes against. Special resolution passed. Are you able to understand? 3 members are attending, 1 favor, 1 against, 1 favor, 1 is against, 1 is neutral. Now, have I passed a special resolution? If you go by 3/4, if you go by 2/3, 3/4, 100%, you won't get the right answer. But if you know the correct definition, you will get the right answer. How should you start? You should first find out what is the number of votes cast against. Here, there is no vote cast against. Means it is 0. 0 into 3. 3 times, na? 3 multiply 0 by 3, you still get only 0. 1 is greater than 0. So the number of votes cast is in favor is not less than 3 times 0. That is 1. So even though only 1 vote is cast, a special resolution has been passed. Are you able to understand this? In fact, there are 3 situations I have given. This will clarify. What I will do is you take a photograph of this. Attempt it at home. This is homework for you. COL, we will, and on 27th, we will take up this topic, finish it, go for registers and returns. And with that, inshallah, management and administration will be over. Okay, wish you all the best. Have a great evening. Take a photograph of the screen if you want. Otherwise, I'll again start with this on the next class. Okay, break your head on this. This will actually help you to internalize the topic. So let's see my friends in chat what they are telling. Don't post the answers. Yes, if 16, Manvi is asking, 6 in favor and 2 is against, exactly 3 times. Resolution is passed. You are absolutely correct, Ms. Manvi. 6 in favor, 2 is against, passed. Because exactly 3 times. They are saying not less than. It can be exactly equal. That is why that not less than I made a big fuss out of it. Okay. Beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you. Bye. See you. Yes, sir.